Peter Andre and Rebekah Vardy's chipolata night of passion burst back into the news after the WAG was forced to recall all the steamy details during the Wagatha Christie trial. The WAG, who is now married to footy legend Jamie Vardy, has today lost her libel case against Coleen Rooney, drawing the 2.5-year feud to a close. In her ruling, Justice Stein said it was likely that Rebekah's agent at the time, Caroline Watt, undertook the direct act of passing information to the Sun. But she added, nonetheless, the evidence clearly shows, in my view, that Mrs. Vardy knew of and condoned this behavior, actively engaging in it by directing Ms. Watt to the private Instagram account, sending her screenshots of Mrs. Rooney's posts, drawing attention to items of potential interest to the press, and answering additional queries raised by the press via Ms. Watt. The judge went on, in my judgment, the conclusions that I have reached as to the extent to which the claimant engaged in disclosing to the Sun information to which she only had access as a permitted follower of an Instagram account which she knew, and Mrs. Rooney repeatedly asserted, was private, suffice to show the single meaning is substantially true. During the trial in May, Rebekah was questioned in court about her night of passion in court with pop star Peter Andre. Peter, 49, appeared to be dragged into the libel trial between Rebekah and fellow WAG Coleen Rooney, after Coleen's lawyer David Sherborne probed Rebekah about a newspaper interview in which she went into detail about a sexual encounter with a mysterious girl singer. In the proceedings at London's High Court, Rebekah took to the stand to admit she regretted describing his Becker as a miniature chipolata in a 2004 Kiss and Tell newspaper interview with the News of the World. The News of the World was the highest circulating newspaper at the time, according to Mr. Sherborne, with around 4 million readers. He asked Rebekah whether it had been respectful of Peter's right not to share this information. She replied, I was forced into a situation by my ex-husband to do this and it is something that I deeply regret. It is not nice to read and I understand why this is being used. To me, this is mudslinging, and I was also threatened with mudslinging by Mrs. Rooney's team. Peter hit back on Instagram after Rebekah admitted she regretted making the comment. He said, do you know how hard it is to keep biting my lip on situations? But the way I look at it, most people saw in the jungle how an acorn turned into an oak, so I think him okay. At least she has now admitted it wasn't true and was forced to say it. The pair had a very brief fling back in 2001, when Rebekah was 21 years old. She met the pop star in a restaurant and proceeded to give him her number. The mum of 5 locked eyes with the singer 4 months after she married her first husband Mark Godden. Rebekah has always insisted that her marriage was coming to an end regardless at the time. In her interview with The Sun, Rebekah claimed, I knew my marriage was coming to an end and explained how she hid the affair from her then-husband Godden. She told the publication, he was really sweet and led me upstairs. When we were in the room, he stripped me and took his top off. He had great muscles. I thought he was going to be a fantastic lover. Then he took his trousers off. He was the worst lover I've ever had. It wasn't even worth the train fare. Peter was tiny. The smallest trouser equipment I've ever seen. It was like a miniature chipolata. Peter previously hit back at her remarks about his manhood in 2017. He shared a photo of a butcher holding onto a giant sausage. The singer captioned the cheeky post, "Now that's a banger," alongside a smiley face emoji. In October 2020, Rebekah issued an apology to Peter following the Wagatha Christie scandal. A source told the Mirror, Rebekah felt really bad. Peter was dragged into proceedings and her old interview about him was brought up again. She was in a totally different place in her life then and never imagined her words would come back to haunt them both. She wishes him all the best now. Rebekah messaged him on Instagram to apologize for the public mess, but, unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears. He didn't respond.